Hey YouTube, it's me, it's the man who likes to R-A-N-T, and at my side once again is Mr. R-O-D-R-I-G-U-E-Z. And we're coming at you today talking about the magical time of the year, the start of WrestleMania season, which of course is kicked off with the Royal Rumble.
Yes, and to start off with, we had the IC title at stake with Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. This was probably the best match of the night, even more so than the Royal match itself. Well,
and probably the most brutal that WWE's gotten in recent years.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far to say years, but I would say within the last several months, maybe even better course of a half year. But regardless,
since Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, you could say that basically.
Okay.
So Hell in a Cell is not what it used to be, anyways. But,
it can't be because there's no blood.
And again, WWE isn't what it used to be, but what?
That goes without saying.
Yes. So Kevin Owens loses, and Dean Ambrose takes a beating. Both of them took a pretty good beating, but tables, and oh my, more tables. It was a very good match. The way it even ended was very, very good. I wish WWE would do this with other title matches. Tables aren't necessary, but the actual drama unfolding from within and then outside the ring was very, very good. Both of these are two of the top, in my mind, 8 performers that WWE has, and I always enjoy watching them.
And extra kudos to Mr. Owens, who would sell the injuries he suffered in that match on his way to the ring for the Royal Rumble match itself. That's a lost start in today's product.
Yeah, there is no such thing as selling in WWE right now. It's all buying about me, I. At least that's what it seems to be. John Cena, for example. I'm not bitter.
Not in the least, no. I couldn't tell.
No, not at all. So, anyways, moving on from that match. After that, we had the... Notice there's a pause for effect.
Yeah, what was it even? Was it New Day?
No wonder. Irrelevancy. Yes, the prancing rainbows, as we like to call them, or unicorns.
And guys, you're not the Hart Foundation.
No.
I know there are other colors out there. Drop the pink.
Drop the hot pink pants. And even in the 80s, it was barely passable. It's so not passable today. And not only that, Xavier Woods, that mouth of yours, I thought it was bad until I heard that trombone. Your newfound friend, Francesca?
Francesca's the one who died. I don't think they named the
No, yeah, Francesca the second, actually, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
She needs to go away, too. She will soon enough, though. This whole moniker, this whole gimmick, I get it. Okay, they work well in ring. You know, Xavier, or not Xavier, I should say. He's the one that needs more work. But when it comes to Kofi Kingston and Big E, they both, performance-wise in ring, it's good. But the gimmick itself, this is the best you have for the tag team division right now. No, it's for me, it's not working. Really, it's nothing but a big comedic fest, and the comedy left a long time ago. So it's basically an irrelevancy fest for myself.
And in fact, the only thing they're doing right in regards to the tag team division is no one seems to be able to beat these guys. So they're the ones that are immune to the terrible 50-50 booking that seems to plague the rest of your roster.
Speaking of 50-50 booking, this also leads into the Wyatt family, which we'll get into as later as the Rumble. But all these characters, you build and build and build a character, and then you smack it back down WWE. The Wyatts are case in point, have been a consistent model for that you have done since, well, their inception.
Yep. This is a act that the crowd is heavily buying into. I see more and more cell phones out every week on Raw.
Look at the shiny Firefly light. Look. You see, I don't have one of those phones.
Drink that Kool-Aid, man. That's what all the people are doing. And they want to see them pushed into a place of prominence. And every time they start to get there, you smack them back down.
No amount of vodka in WWE is going to fix that Kool-Aid either, folks.
No, you can't spike that enough.
No, you can't spike it enough. You really can't.
People are too wise to an old man that's running things.
Yeah, and the fact that old man, while he's getting down to make the 1, 2, 3, when you walk out to the ring, and then you get up in the ring, and this is how you drop down to a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's basically what Vince McMahon is nowadays.
Or the fact that you can't open a Royal Rumble number holder.
Yeah, I know. 3 attempts at that, and he throws it. It's like, wow, all that gym lifting and everything can't twist open a cap.
And then when he finally got it, it's like, you did it!
Which was very hilarious. She had no problem
great.
poking fun at her old man and going, oh, look at you. I got a stronger grip than you. You need to retire. Go to the old people's home.
Yeah,
please.
really needs. Oh, boy. But, seriously, it's time for New Day to lose because they've had the titles long enough. And in order to do that, one of two things need to happen. Somebody needs to come out with a third guy to keep Woods in check. Or a tag team needs to win a stipulation in a match where Xavier Woods is barred from ringside.
Or this hat needs to make me a wizard in order to make WWE realize that it's at fault and really coming up with bad storylines. And this whole 50-50 booking, it's not going well. Just kind of like this style for me right now, it's not going very well.
Do I dare call you the Wicked Witch of the Southwest?
Sure.
Okay.
You know, I mean, look at this. Looks like this hair was dipped in Kool-Aid. You know, I'm a walking idiom basically right now. So.
Green Kool-Aid. I think that's one of the few that doesn't exist, actually.
No, well, I miss Ecto Cooler.
I do too, but that's high C. That's a little different.
Works the same.
Yeah, it does. Next we had Divas.
What now?
Next we had Divas.
Divas. Oh, yeah, those, yeah, them. You know, the ones that prance around a ring and have no character and dress like streetwalkers. Them.
Well, some try to have some character. But once again,
Yeah.
you see, this is where NXT has distanced itself from the actual main roster because NXT cares greatly about their divas. But not WWE.
No, and the fact of the matter is, when it seems like a lot of these NXT stars, when they come up to the main roster, when they come up to the women's division, whether it be the tag team division on the main level, anything main roster from NXT, it seems like 90% of their careers go to die. Maybe I'm being too harsh, I'll go with 80, but it seems, for example, Bo Dallas, who's he on the main roster?
A social outcast, that's who he is.
He's in between, like, Jobber and Gone, which would be the social outcast. I call them Jobbers Inc. for a reason.
Custer's Last Stand.
No, Jobber's Last Stand.
Yes.
So
perfect.
That's exactly how it is, and hopefully we don't see any of these guys within the next coming months because they're just not that good.
Hey, why?
Hey. Okay, Bo, grow a beard like your brother Bray, and join the faction. Outside of that,
that's your only hope.
That's your only hope.
It really is.
Trust me, Obi-Wan knows.
Miz doesn't know much about. Yeah, Miz doesn't know much about anything.
But he's not Obi-Wan.
But he dresses like it.
I don't know if it's just my brain compressing or this hat's getting tighter right now.
Maybe we should try taking it off.
No. Hey, I'm basically, I'm WWE right now. Obviously, the Kool-Aid's well drank because it's even soaked into my hair.
Oh, you mean your one note?
And the fact that this dunce cap's on me right now, it's a black dunce cap, to kind of parlay the, I don't know.
Black sheep?
No, the colors of the water.
Party time!
Oh, look, it's an Oompa Loompa crystal ball.
With a cat face.
What do I see? I see no competition in the future and future kitty wrestling. So, wait, no. See, that's not even a crystal ball. It floats. It's all a lie. A lie.
The wrestling is a lie.
Yes, it is. Anyways, moving on now. We're going to go ahead and, we didn't talk about the Divas match, but let's put it this way. Charlotte, okay, her old man's helping her. Rick and his Geritol, Viagra shaking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to, I don't want to use the word, but...
Leave?
That's better than what I was thinking.
Did your word start with a D?
It did.
End with an I?
Actually, an E if you want to be really technical.
Well, I was just using the 2 syllables.
Well, then we spelled it out for you.
Alright!
But, yeah,
we do think alike.
No, Rick, you're long gone, and honestly, if this is the only thing that's going to hold your daughter up, okay, besides the fact that, she sounds like a man, when she walks around.
Kind of looks like one.
She kind of does. She's got the growth hormone chin and everything, too, no hips. She really doesn't look female.
I said it last night, and he thought it was hilarious. No matter how much you try to make Charlotte like Ric Flair, there will always be a couple defining characteristics that she'll be missing. About 15 title reigns and 4 divorces.
Well, I think she's already had one divorce.
Yes,
so.
she did. She was married to Bram for a while.
Hey, only a few more to go, right? The Appalette doesn't fall far from the old, withered, loud,
Tangled.
obnoxious tangled tree.
Yeah.
Yes. So, moving on though to the big shabam, the Rumble match itself. We're going to talk about that because
There's a lot to talk about.
There is a
actually,
lot to
that
talk
we're
about.
excited about, I should say, because
mostly yes. We see the entrances. Roman starts out, hangs tough for, as we predicted, in just about almost all the match.
although they kind of gave him an easy way out with the stretcher him out.
With the beatdown, it was like an extra rest. But you know, if this guy is booked mostly consistently, and if you look at it, he's defending that title nights a week. This is how the title should be defended, not the ridiculous, stupid moniker they were giving Seth Rollins to portray where, oh, I'll compete on my own terms, or as Daddy Triple H would say, I'll handle it, son. And then when, good old Seth Rollins comes in and has a disappointed dad look on his face, he needs to take it in his own way somewhere different.
But the one thing they are doing, and this is not a knock on Roman, it's basically a knock on how, once again, the company is being ran. They're writing fine for Roman, who was the top guy coming in, but they don't seem to care about anybody else.
No, they don't. And even the crowd reactions are still, I thought they were pulling for Roman, but the last few crowds...
Orlando isn't.
Orlando sure as heck isn't, but the rest of the crowds are starting to go 50-50 again. Again, WWE, you create these problems. You build somebody up, or you build them up too soon, the people aren't ready for them. And also the fact that you're lacking severely, albeit due to injury to some degree. No Randy Orton, no Cesaro, no Cena, no Rollins. It really hurts your product. It does. But at the same time, even when those guys were around, the crowd at times was still kind of, juggling apples, balls, steaks, whatever you want to do at that point, because the crowd seemed interested. I look at years gone past in the Attitude Era, the pop you get in almost every city, town, arena was immense. Now it seems to me like there's always a lull. For example, Chris Jericho, he's really lost his ability for one-liners for the most part. He can be quirky and snippy and witty, but
He's just rehashing the stuff that got him over in the
He's trying too hard, and it's noticeable. He needs to stop. Like me right now, I'm trying really hard to keep this hat on, and it's succeeding. I must be drinking the Kool-Aid. Oh no.
Oh dear, what happened?
Oh no, get rid of this disease. Get that disease off your foot. You don't want that. But I mean...
speaking of the Rumble, huge surprise and welcome surprise that AJ Styles has finally joined the company.
Yes, and he performed exceptionally well. This is my opinion, he did. Hung around in the match for a while, too, for a good, I'd say, half hour or so.
Might have made a bit of an impact if you let him hit his finishing move on
Don't
somebody.
know what that was about. It's kind of like having that impact of Sting beating Triple H, but then Vince would just yell, "Don't swear at me."
Please don't mention that. I'm so angry about the whole Sting thing.
Leading into the feud with AJ Styles looked really good. There will be future feuds. I would love to see what him and Neville would do in a ring. I think that would just blow the roof off the place.
Roof off this place.
A lot of guys backstage would probably hate it because what are we going to do to compare to this? There is nothing you can do. You can just hope and pray. And
our muscle-bound bodies can't keep up with those athletic midgets.
Exactly. If I bend over too far to tie my shoes, I might tear a hamstring or a quadricep, right, Triple H?
Oh, that's unfair. Or you could say Vince running down the aisle once again.
Yeah, or attempting to run. So, Stephanie's got a governor on his legs. Even the corn cob walks monitored now and stuff. She actually tries to strut with them out stride for stride, like, see, Dad? Like this, because if you go, he'll man down, basically.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah, not even a snap and a crackle, you just hear a pop.
Yeah.
But, getting back to Brock Lesnar making his entrance in the Royal Rumble, and as usual, he destroyed for a while, eliminated most of the Wyatts until Bray came out, and then his whole clan comes back, and the whole group of them need to beat down Brock. Can't get him over the first time, beat him down again, and the second time they do, which is going to lead to, in a feud at WrestleMania. It makes sense for Brock Lesnar. Build his character up more. They've done a good job of keeping him as this mythical beast, if you will. that cannot be beaten or slain. He may lose, but he's not ever going to tap out. He's not going to be pinned 1, 2, 3. This doesn't help the Wyatts.
Also, for those of you saying, well, Brock Lesnar should be in your main title picture because he's so over. Here's the thing. Brock knows how over he is and can choose who he works with and would rather elevate them to make the company better.
In the same process, making himself better. The way it's going to shake out at Mania, it'll be this all against one. And to build Lesnar's character, all the Wyatts will be involved, whether it's him versus Bray or Braun Strowman, all the Wyatts will be involved some way, somehow. And Brock will probably eliminate every single one of them and win the match.
Yep.
This doesn't help the Wyatt faction a bit. You build them, having them beat guys down, having them do what they did on Raw a week ago. And what are you going to do? Lower right back down around WrestleMania like you have for the last couple of years. It just does not make sense to me. For Brock Lesnar, on the other hand, well, elevates him and catapults him, and I predict a SummerSlam title run again, just because it makes sense. But at the same time, what are you doing with the Wyatts here? Again, it's the up, it's the down, it's the up and the down, and all that type of stuff.
And if you're trying to convince me that wins and losses don't matter, yeah, I can get that. Okay, you can wipe away wins and losses. Let me go back to something that happened in a pre-Rumble thing on Raw. Ryback comes out to help the social outcast against the Wyatt family. Comes in and clotheslines everybody over the top rope. Fine, I get that. He caught the Wyatts from behind, caught them off guard. And then what happens? They're outside the ring and they run from one man. 4 guys, 4 big guys, ran from one big, stupid individual.
This is how you're
Math
putting,
is not my strongest suit, but
it's not adding up. It doesn't take it.
4 beats 1.
Doesn't take a genius to figure out the storyline itself is quite crooked, and whoever is doing math on the storyline needs to be fired immediately.
Didn't they make Strowman look strong in the Rumble, though?
No, they did. They did. The fact that he hung around for 20, 25 minutes was impressive himself, albeit, he looked almost blue in the face by the time it was over with. But
The fact that he eliminated Kane and the Big Show.
yes, and the fact that the first time Brock clotheslined him, it took 3 attempts, that's another good way. But
So you got a monster.
yes, but how are you going to? Because Braun Strowman alone is not ready for this stage at
There's
Mania.
no way.
You're asking Brock to not only carry him, but to change a crappy diaper, rock him to sleep, and then
Breastfeed him out the nipple.
Yeah, I mean that's more or less the equivalent of what you're asking him to do, and he's not ready for any of that. I don't even think Brock wants to deal with any of that. He will, only because you pay him handsomely well.
But they've done this before. Unless we go back to the atrocity that was Fandango versus Jericho.
It should have never happened.
Should have never had a debut match at Mania.
Person who won should have never happened. And then that leads to the culmination of how the event finalized. Triple H is your last entrance into the Royal Rumble. He goes out, is tactful to eliminate, and proceeds to eliminate Roman Reigns. This is everything that we saw, which leads me to see back to last year's Mania. Triple H, you were good at pushing your way into anything politically and getting ahead. I
He
know.
married the boss's daughter.
Yes, but the fact that this is becoming a family affair yet again, and I predict a Roman Reigns win at WrestleMania. Here's the issue with it. You're left not many choices. I understand. The crowd, obviously you get over with the fan base.
Sure.
Your
He's got a diehard base.
Your ring conditioning. After about 10 to 12 minutes, you look gassed. You might be all muscle bound, but there's a reason why you entered number 30. You can't go anymore. And the fact last year's WrestleMania match, Sting did not look even half as winded as yourself in that. And we all know how that ended up. And now we look into you winning your 14th title. 14th, mind you. For all you people that think, he said 10. You'll still probably argue with me. Yes, 10 minus 4 equals 6, and it's a relevant number to this discussion, but anyway.
The internet wrestling community just loves to argue for arguing.
Yeah, they argue
sake.
for argue's sake and everything. That's what happens when you follow you.
But if you can politic,
I won't say it.
if you can politic your way into a world title reign, and you can politic keeping Sting down, we know you got the power. But can you use it judiciously for the betterment of the company as opposed to the betterment of yourself?
And at this stage right now, the only way you help the company is for Reigns to win it again. and develop a storyline with him and Rollins in the near future when Rollins is ready and available to come back. The way that they booked Roman Reigns, I like mostly. They built him up again,
right.
but the fact of the matter is the fans are starting to hate on him a little more again. I think ultimately what it leads to is Triple H, you got a really big nose. So obviously you're going to try to push it in different places. You do all the time. It's aggravating, but at the same time, at this juncture, I actually get why they decided to go that route. It's, the whole McMahon family and Triple H and the authority against, again, a one versus all type of thing. I get that you're prolonging the story with all the injuries. It makes the most sense right now. Normally I'd be up in arms, but I get it.
But they even made a mistake with that, if I can interject for just a second, because when the Authority showed up to fight Roman had his own stable. The Usos and Ambrose were there to back him up to even the sides. And yet, after that first week, every time Roman has been in trouble, the Brotherhood, as he called them, nowhere to be found. That's how you get other people over. When he was in that gauntlet match against the entire heel locker room, why couldn't somebody like the Usos come up and say, we're going to stand with our relative, to heck with our jobs being in jeopardy, and that's how you get them over as baby faces. You can't think one-dimensionally, WWE.
Unless you're going with the corporate mindset of today's world is where, everybody lives in fear for their job and must do what the master says.
And the master is Vince McMahon, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
And we don't.
No, we don't. Well, expression on my face. Expressionless.
Do I look happy? I'm not.
No, I feel like somebody just, literally
and we're angry.
dumped off a hot load in my cornflakes.
Sorry. We're angry because everything we brought up is fixable.
I'm going home. That's what he just reminded me of when he did that. So.
And you're simply choosing not to.
It's not good. It's not good. Here's the thing. The Rock needs to make an appearance, and I actually predict he will and will have some hand in helping Roman Reigns win back his title.
You gotta help the cousin.
Yeah, obviously it's family, and it's The Rock. It's WrestleMania. It's a big paycheck for a couple weeks of work. If you wanted to throw me a couple mil to work for 2 weeks, I'd do it 2 weeks a year.
Hey, you think Rock can convince Ronda Rousey to show up again to keep Stephanie in check?
She's way too hormonal right now due to that. I mean, let's put it this way, she got tattooed by somebody, didn't like it, and now she's having issues in handling all the mental atrocities that everybody throws. No, you know what, Ronda Rousey? You just got plain beat up and you don't like it. Loudmouth bullies just don't like getting beat up. They don't. They piss and they moan about it. Deal with it. Come back, get knocked out again, find another profession.
That's when you find out what someone's really like, when they've had all this success and then they hit a little adversity and you see how they handle it.
Yeah. See this, Rhonda? Again, I'm going to bring back the hat witch. That's exactly what you are. Witch.
Wow. I thought I said it well, but this guy over here, he ain't shy about sharing his opinions.
Not really.
Hey, you think that's why they might like us together?
They may. One of us is more handsome than the other. I'm not going to say who.
I know.
He has confidence issues. So, even this hat, if you put this on him.
Do we try it?
Like I said, confidence issues. I'm not going to bother hurting his feelings anymore. Anyways.
Wow.
Can someone say asshole?
Asshole.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Asshole.
He's a lovable asshole, though.
Yeah, well, jerks among us.
Oh, goodness. But overall, I give... Oh, wait. Forgot about one other match.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. title. Kalisto and Del Rio, which I'll say was passable. And the reason I say passable is because I guess Sin Cara's been hanging around with Kalisto again. He was botching like hell that whole match.
Yes, honestly, you know what? That match made me more sick than an uncleansed menudo. And for all you Mexicans out there,
want any of that.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. There is very few things that are worse in a soup, and that dish I did not like.
Yeah.
It's that whole adage again: drink the tequila, not the water. I drank way too much water watching that match.
And we got Montezuma's revenge because of it.
Oh yeah, you could say that for sure.
Kalisto is your hope if you want a Rey Mysterio-like superstar. And these two have had good matches leading up to this one. It just so happens they chose the big stage to screw it up.
And the fact that Alberto Del Rio is about as orange as the cheddar underneath the toilet seat. But that's for a whole nother discussion.
Although he
in
was
itself.
less orange this time around than he has been the last few months.
Yeah, I know. Probably because, he didn't pay his tanning bed electric bill. But anyways,
He just ran out of spray.
or that.
But, on the whole, despite what the rest of the IWC has to say about it, I thought this was a really solid pay-per-view. Certainly better than last year's. Oh, now we're putting that.
Nope.
Oh.
He's so happy
He's
to see
making
you
me feel
guys.
important.
He's really happy. Dude. They make shears and everything like that.
Hey, it could be my wonder.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap up this for the day. It's good seeing you again. Thank you for having me on, buddy.
Anytime.
He needs to be turned off, so
Ranter off the soapbox. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.